Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janelle Veronica and I post makeup videos twice a week on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So if you absolutely love your makeup, make sure that you subscribe and join the family here in Makeup Land. For today's makeup, I have some Fenty Beauty, some Juvia'S, the Juvia'S foundation, some L'Oreal concealer. For my eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in with the Morphe 18V. This is the Vava Bloom eyeshadow palette. And this is what the palette looks like. We have a nice assortment of pinks, some browns, some very pretty shimmer shades. So that is what we're going to be using on the eyes today. So I'm just going to jump right in, get to priming and get some makeup on my face. For my primer, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. This primer is so good. It's the bomb. I'm just going to massage that into the face. As you can see, it blurs the skin. It really is an instant retouch primer. It blurs the skin. Foundation applies so nicely on top of it. Absolutely love that primer. Next, I'm going to go in with my foundation. For my foundation, I'm going in with the Juvia'S I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation in the shade Dakar, which is 220. And I'm just going to go in and dot that all over the face. Alright, foundation has been applied all over the face. I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques sponge and start to pounce that foundation in, making sure that we have nice even coverage on the face. This foundation is full coverage. This is one of my favorite, my absolute favorite foundations. It's full coverage, but it's not cakey on the skin. It blends out like a dream. I absolutely love this foundation. It is so good. I'm going to do some concealing and highlighting of my face, and I'm not going to go too bright with my concealer today. I want a more subtle highlight. I am going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer. I'm going in with the shade 420 Cocoa. I'm going to highlight my forehead just a bit, down the bridge of my nose as well. I'm going to conceal my mustache. Your girl has a mustache and I like to conceal it, and then a little bit on my chin. Those are the areas that I like to bring brightness to in the face. So that's the concealer placement. While that concealer dries down so that I get fuller coverage, I'm just going to quickly contour my face. I love to go in with a contour. Today I am going in with the Black Opal Stick Foundation in the shade Ebony Brown on my cheekbones and then around the forehead. To blend the contour out, I'm going to go in with a BH Cosmetics No. 3 brush and just work that contour upwards at the cheekbones. As I always say, we like to be sculpted, we like to be lifted in the cheekbone area. So I don't ever blend it downwards, I always push it upwards. Onto the other side. When I get to my hairline, my forehead, I blend it backwards and really work it into the hairline. And since it's a stick foundation, it blends out so easily. It gives me a little bit more coverage, and I'm a full coverage kind of babe. So I absolutely love it. It comes in so many shades. Alright guys, so contour blended out. I'm going to switch to a Cala sponge. These sponges, so soft. So soft. And I'm going to blend my concealer out. I always start at my chin. I like to get these areas out of the way first. Onto the forehead in nice patting motions so that I can control exactly where that concealer goes. Then I go down the bridge of my nose. Then onto the under eye. Always make sure that you look up so that you get directly under your lower lash line as well. Always hit the side of your nose, that area there, it will tell on you if you don't blend it out properly. So always hit that area nicely. Alright guys, next I'm going to set my concealer down so that we don't get any creasing. I like to go in immediately afterwards and set my concealer. For my setting powder, I am going in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I use this one in the shade Translucent Honey. And I'm just going to go in and dip my sponge into the powder, dab the excess off on the back of my hand. Then go in and really melt that powder in. And really set that concealer down. So I'm just going to set all of the areas that I went in with that concealer. And this powder just melts right into the complexion. Absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite setting powders. I'm going to set my chin. Then I'm going to go in and set down the bridge of my nose because I highlighted that area with the concealer. Alright, nice. Concealer is set and the eyes are looking nice and smooth and buttery. To set the rest of my face today, I am going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear Powder. This one is in the shade 355 Sienna. Alright, face is set and it's time for bronzer. I am going in with the Revolution Glow Splendour Ultra Matte Bronzer in dark. This is what it looks like. And I'm going in with my Ashley Lee P04 brush. You know, just to warm up the perimeter of the face. Make us look nice and sun-kissed. And this bronzer, it smells so good. I'm also going to go in with that bronzer and just sculpt my nose out. You know, and really blend it in so that the nose sculpting does not look too harsh. It is nice and subtle. Alright guys, so I did my brows off camera just to save a little bit of time. We don't want to be here all day. As I said, for the eyeshadow, this is the Vava Bloom eyeshadow palette from Morphe. Alright, and these are the shades that we are working with in the palette. I think it is such a pretty palette. So I'm just going to jump right in and create an eye look. I'm going to start by dipping into this brown shade in the palette. That shade in the palette right there. And I'm going to use that as a transition shade. And I'm going in with a Morphe M434 blending brush. And to prime my eyes for the eyeshadow, I went in with the Juvia'S Place Eye Prep Eye Primer in shade number 2. This color is looking more pinky and I already love it. It is blending out so nicely. It's not patchy. This is such a pretty shade. Absolutely love it. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Blending out so good. Alright, I'm happy with that blend and that was so easy. Next, I'm going to go in with this plum colored shade in the palette, that color, and I'm going to use that in my crease and on the outer V of the eye. And I'm going in with another Morphe M434 brush. And again, this color, pretty, blending out nicely. Such a gorgeous plum colored shade. I'm just going to go back in with that first color and just reblend the edges. Alright, I am loving that. So pretty. For my lid, I'm going to go into this. It's like a pinky goldy bronze shade in the palette. That shade right there. And I'm going to use that all over my lid. And this is an e.l.f. flat shader brush that I'm going in with. Ooh. This is such a pretty color. Everything is pretty today, guys. That's my favorite word doing my makeup. Pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a nice metallic shade. Alright, that is absolutely gorgeous. I want to deepen up the outer V of the eye a little bit and a little into the crease. So I'm going to go in with this brown shade in the palette. I just want a little bit more contrast between the shimmer shade on the lid and the crease and the outer V. Alright, so that's pretty. For my lower lash line, I'm going to go back into that plum color shade and really smoke out my lower lash line. I'm going to go in with the inner corner color and I'm going to tap into this gold shade in the palette, and I'm just going to work that on the inner corner of the eye. You know, just for a little pop on the inner corner. That is so cute. Alright guys, let me put a pair of lashes on and come back and wrap up the rest of my face. Alright guys, so lashes are on, and for lashes I went in with the Eyelashes London Definition Full and Bold Eyelash, but I will link them in the description box down below. It's time for blush. For my blush, since we have the pink tones going on the eyes today, I'm going to go in with a pinky mauve blush. This is the Revlon powder blush in the shade Very Berry, and I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques 400 blush brush. So we're just going to blush the cheeks up. Next, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Gold and use that to highlight down the bridge of my nose. Then I'm going to go in with my sponge and just make sure that it is nicely blended in. You want it to be blending, but you don't want it to be blinding. The next step in my makeup is to just go in and perfect my under eyes. So I'm going to go in with the Morphe M554 tapered paddle brush. I'm going to dip into some of that Laura Mercier setting powder. Then I'm going to shake the excess off. Then go in and just perfect my under eyes. Blend it nicely into the blush. For my setting spray, I'm going in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is the matte one, the mattifying one. I'm going to move on to lips. I'm going to go in with a MAC pencil. This is the MAC lip pencil in Nightmoth. It's a plum colored color because I want to tie in the eyeshadow look into the lips. Alright, and I basically filled in my top lip with that pencil and just lined my lower lip as usual. For my lipstick, I'm going to go pink. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade number 15 Lover. It's a pink matte lipstick. And finally, I'm going to top it with another Maybelline product. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. I am going in with the shade, with the color 014, which is Heat. It's a nice pink gloss. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more, a little bit more blush. Sometimes when you set, it disappears and you need to go in and re-intensify. Alright guys, and that is my makeup look all complete. Hope you guys like the makeup. Hope you have fun hanging out with me for yet another video. As I always say, I love the Juvia'S Place Velvety Matte Foundation. It is so good. The L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. It's a drugstore foundation, drugstore concealer, but it is so good. It is one of the best concealers in the drugstore, at the drugstore. The Fenty Primer. This is a hero product. I absolutely love this primer. I think that the eyeshadow palette, the Vava Bloom one, performed so good today. Everything just blended out so nicely. Nothing was patchy or nothing was skipping. The shimmer shade on the lid is such a pretty shade. Absolutely love it. And as I said, the word of the day is pretty. Everything was pretty today. Hope it wasn't too annoying to you guys. Alright guys, so thank you very much for hanging out with me for yet another video. As I said, I post on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So if you like the makeup, if you like me, if you like my personality, just make sure that you subscribe and join the family here in Makeup Land. So until next time, I want you to be fantastic. Have a fabulous week wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.